morning and welcome to Empower World. My name is Janine Bailey.
And my name is Marie Quigley. Good morning.
Good morning. And today we want to focus on judgment, or the judger within us. There are essentially two forms of judgment within ourselves, and there is the positive side and there's the not so positive side. So we want to create awareness about those two sides. The positive side being the part of us that enables us to fulfill our daily lives and our goals out into the future. So it's the part of us that decides what are we going to wear in the morning when we notice what the weather's going to be like. If it's a sunny day, okay, we need to wear summer clothes. It's the part of us that knows what we want to eat for breakfast in the morning and make decisions throughout the day that's good for us, good for others, and the greater good. It's the other side, the not so positive side of judgment that we want to really focus on today. It's creating awareness about that part of us that potentially creates judgment about things, situations, and people that keeps us small, that keeps us in a place of uncomfortable comfort zone. So it's the part of us that is judging people in a way that doesn't serve us, doesn't serve them. It's looking at situations that create emotions that, again, don't feel good. They could be emotions of anger or frustration. So it's really becoming aware of this part of us that enables us to create awareness of what's really going on underneath, what's the deeper learning that we can take with us going out into the future to be able to fulfill what it is that we truly want. It's about becoming aware of that overactive or underactive level of ego, that judger within us that it thinks it's keeping us safe, it thinks it's doing the right thing, but actually it's keeping us small.
Yeah. So think about your life right now and where you may be judging a situation or a person who you deem to be not doing things right, or not. And you can see my body language when I'm saying that. Not when you think you are perhaps better than them or you know better than them. And notice what comes up for you as you bring this person or situation to mind. What goes on emotionally for you? What's happening as you hear yourself maybe judging them to other people when you're talking about them, when you're gossiping behind their backs about what may be going on, and you're sharing with other people how they are doing it wrongly, or in your eyes wrongly. Notice what happens to you. And notice how that may keep you small, that may keep you from being able to be generous in your thoughts, in your ideas, and your way of being with other people. And notice that when we're judging others, we are often judging ourselves. Our unconscious mind hears those words of judgment and takes it on board, and actually it reflects in that negative emotions that goes on within us. So our unconscious mind recognizes those words that turns into emotion that can hurt us, that can make us feel bad, that can make us put that frown on our face and choose to use unkind words or feel unkind thoughts towards other people. But actually, it's really hurting us. It's affecting our physiology. It's affecting our thoughts and our emotions, and in turn has a ripple effect of hurting those around us. So think about the times you've sat at a table with a couple of other people and judged someone else that wasn't there. What's the feeling like? What's the atmosphere and the energy like around that? I mean, thinking about it myself, it just doesn't feel nice. You can leave the situation, the table, feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Absolutely, absolutely. And great questions to ask ourselves. And we highly encourage you to ask those questions to enable you to shift how you see things so that it works for you. So it's really being aware of this, that judger within us that is not working for us, versus going down a learning path. Because when we wear that judgment hat, the judgment hat that doesn't serve us, so we're talking about that judger within us that is keeping us safe in an uncomfortable comfort zone. When we realize that we're in that place, we are shutting down our opportunities for learning. So we go down a judgment pathway that potentially ends up in a pit of mud. However, when we recognize that we have got that ego hat on, the not so great ego hat on, and we start to question, what are the assumptions that I am making about this person or situation? What assumptions am I making about myself? When we start to ask ourselves, what do these people or these situations need? What assumptions are potentially they making? When we start to really reflect upon what's going on underneath, we can start to open our doors of learning. We can start to recognize that there is a different way of viewing our world. And when we allow those barriers, that ego judgment barrier, come down, we are then opening ourselves to others, to be able to really be curious about others, to ask questions of them, either internally or externally. And it's the opportunity to start creating new relationships, new ways of being. And of course, when we start to look at things as well, when we start to look at, what is the, what is it that we can be grateful for in this situation? What is the gold underneath the mud and the muck? What can we start to really latch onto that's going to serve us? So it's recognizing when we're in that ego mode, we're not listening, we've got our barriers up, and it's like we're carrying our baggage around us, and therefore we're shutting off our opportunities to learn. So really recognize when we're doing that, and then let those barriers drop, so that you become an open learner, a learner of other situations and people and circumstances. And I'm just thinking about working with some of my clients that come along that, and I know Maria has too, that have, had that judgment hat on, and they've really shut off their opportunities to really connect. But they learn how to see things differently and be that open learner and create new outcomes.
And actually looking at different perspectives is a great way to help you let go of that judgment. So that man or that woman that you're judging, or that situation you're judging, just look at them for a moment. And what is it like through their eyes? What is life like through their eyes? What's going on for them that is making them act or behave in the way they're doing? Because we all have stories going on in our lives. We all have challenges that we're facing. So by being able to see through life through their eyes, it'll give you a different perspective. And also turn around and look at yourself from a different perspective, and watch the person that is judging someone else, and notice what's going on for you. What is it you'd really like to say? What is it you're afraid of? What is it afraid of? What is the fear within you that you'd like to address as you're being in judgment mode? And how differently would life be for you if you chose to let go of judgment and chose a little bit more compassion, understanding, and maybe not taking the side of the other person, because we all have our views and we all have our values that are important to us, but maybe just understanding a little bit more about what's going on for someone else. What would that be like?
Absolutely. So again, great questions to ask yourself, and really look at those different perspectives. Be that open learner versus that judger that is just in keeping themselves safe in an uncomfortable comfort zone of anger, frustration, smallness. So really being aware of when you are in that mode, which we can all be. We are human, so all of us are not perfect. We will all step into this place, but becoming really aware of it quite quickly and turning it around to create the experiences, the emotions that you truly want.
So there's lots of ways you can know you're in judgment. You can hear the negative words you're using about people. You can see it in your physiology. You can notice it in the emotions that are coming up for you. So there's lots of ways your body tells you whether you're being in judgment or not. So it's about listening and being aware. And the more awareness you have about yourself, the more power you give to yourself. So, we're all human, as we mentioned. We all slip into this judgment mode. It's part of how we make those good decisions. But it's recognizing when those judgments don't serve us, when they disempower us. And so you can, when you're aware of what's going on for you in your physiology, in your thoughts and in your emotions, you can choose a different way.
So we encourage you to be incredibly mindful, incredibly open to other people's ways of communication, knowing that there are these different energies and different styles of communication out there that are different from your own. So being aware of that so that you can again release that judgment that, you know, they don't speak like I speak. So release that need that people need to be like you, that actually having all these different types of energies in the world makes the world go round. So being really open, mindful, respectful, and courageous to allow that ego to disappear and have that open heart to create the results that you truly want.
So we trust that if you're listening to our vlogs, you're interested in this and you want new awareness for yourself. So our challenge for you this week is to recognize when you're in judgment mode and what happens to you. Just pay attention to you, what's going on for you, and the impact it has on you when you're judging others. Take some notes, journal if you like, and really start learning about the impact it's having on your life.
And we'd encourage you actually to, once you create that awareness, to actually see what different steps you can take going forward and start. They can be just baby steps, but just notice what happens when you do step outside of that old comfort zone of wherever you might have been thinking, judging and doing. So
if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. So if you really want things to change, if you would love to look at the world with a different pair of glasses for a while, we encourage you to really try it.
We hope you enjoyed our vlog today. We enjoyed it and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Have a great week. Bye bye.